तस्य ज्ञान चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय। So, a sincere student should not neglect the discussion of such conclusions, considering them controversial, for such conclusions strengthen the mind. Thus, one's mind becomes attached to Krishna. A little bit above that, huh? We were a little bit above that. Yeah, I know. We'll be entering into the primary characteristics of pure devotion. But this particular purport is very, very important. That we didn't read the paragraph before that. We didn't read the paragraph before that. Okay. All right. The reader may question, and then the book continues to follow suit. Right. So let's touch up the Rupa Goswami's formula of pure devotion, and Srila Prabhupada's word for word translation and rendering into that verse, that is Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadana Vratam Anukullena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktiruttama. Anya Abhilashata Shunyam means without desire other than those for the service of Lord Krishna, or without material desires such as those for meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and addiction to the intoxicants. Prabhupada is so much direct on this. What is Anya Abhilashata? And they linger around these four things, four prohibitions. Then Jnana means by knowledge of the philosophy of monist Mayavadis. We do not take into account such Jnana. Karma by fruitive activities. No, for sense gratification, we do not perform karma. Adi by artificial practicing detachment by the mechanical process of yoga, by studying the Sankhya philosophy and so on. Adi means beginning from that Mayavadi philosophy and karmic activities. That includes mechanical practice of yoga and Sankhya philosophy, like the imposter Kapila Dev, and so on. Anavrutam means not covered. Anukulyena means favorable. Krishnanushilanam means cultivation of service in relationship to Krishna. Bhakti Uttama, the first class devotional service. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by the monastic philosophy, and fruitive actions. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 167th verse. So the reader may question the need for studying such a familiar verse in detail. This book intends to follow Srila Prabhupada's instruction to a devotee that they make an effort to become fully Krishna conscious by scrutinizingly studying the glories of the Lord and of devotion to Him. Each devotee has a unique intellectual capacity. Krishna asks devotee to worship Him with their intelligence. This is also cited in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 17th chapter, 9th verse, purport. So, if out of laziness they neglect to do so, the seed of pure devotion will fail to produce pure faith. Instead, devotees will only cultivate the weeds of the semblance of devotion. They are the actual weeds. Other are weeds also, but the semblance and other things are actual weeds which are growing in the creeper of pure devotion. So we have to wipe them out. These weeds will sprout into mixed faith. The following verse and purport should eradicate any lingering doubts in this conclusion. What is it? Siddhanta baliya chitte na kar alas, iha haite Krishna lage shudrad manas. A sincere student should not neglect the discussion of such conclusion, considering them controversial. For such conclusions strengthen the mind. Thus, one's mind becomes attached to Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 2nd chapter, 117th verse. And Srila Prabhupada comments, there are many students who, in spite of reading the Bhagavad Gita, misunderstand Krishna because of imperfect knowledge and conclude him to be an ordinary historical personality. This one must not do. One should be particularly careful to understand the truth about Krishna. If because of laziness one does not come to know Krishna conclusively, one will be misguided about the cult of devotion. Like those who declare themselves advanced devotee and imitate transcendental symptoms sometimes observe in liberated souls. Although the use of thoughts and arguments is the most suitable process for inducing an uninitiated person to become a devotee, a neophyte in devotional service must always alertly understand Krishna through the vision of the revealed scriptures. The bona fide devotees and spiritual master, these three things, the scriptures, the bona fide devotees, and the spiritual master. Unless one hears about Sri Krishna from such authorities, one cannot make advancement in devotion to Sri Krishna. The revealed scriptures mention 9 means of attaining devotional service, of which the first and foremost is hearing from the authority. The seed of devotion cannot sprout unless watered by the process of hearing and chanting. One should submissively receive the transcendental message from the spiritually advanced sources and chant the very same message for one's own benefit as well as the benefit of one's audience. This is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 2nd chapter, 117th verse, purport. So, this is the prerequisite, the process in the beginning, which is instilling pure faith. And if a person misunderstands by either misassociating or associating with the unbona fide, that is not acceptable to our Srila Prabhupada's philosophy, avoid them, just like he avoided many sadhus to unite. For what? If they cannot accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by thorough understanding, why should we unite? It's a waste of time. So, neophyte devotees must hear the holy instructions, including holy names and the efficacy of the holy name from the mouths of bona fide devotees, the Shastras, and his own spiritual master. So in this way, Guru Sadhu Shastra will be linked up. Okay. Bona fide devotees means even living in present as well as the predecessor acharyas. You initially listen from the bona fide devotees, and they will not differ. And spiritual master is also one of them, and you'll be all right. But when you grow up, then you refer to even further bona fide succession that we came from. So that will be Guru Sadhu Shastra Vakya Chittete Koriyenge. And these are the cardinal principles. And they are described in Chaitanya Charitamrita very, very emphatically. So, Siddhanta Baliya Che Siddhanta Baliya Chitte Na Kar Alas Iha Haite Krishna Lage Sudridamanas. If you follow the Siddhanta, the conclusive truths given by Guru Sadhu Shastra, you have the security that you will not fall apart. You will not go astray like that. So, therefore, Srila Prabhupada is describing in the translation of this verse that a sincere student should not neglect the discussion of such conclusions, considering them controversial. For such discussions strengthen the mind. Thus, one's mind becomes attached to Sri Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary that there are many students who, in spite of reading Bhagavad Gita, misunderstand Krishna because of imperfect knowledge and conclude him to be an ordinary historical personality. This one must not do. One should be particularly careful to understand the truth about Krishna, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. If because of laziness one does not come to know Krishna conclusively, one will be misguided about the cult of devotion, like those who declare themselves advanced devotees and imitate transcendental symptoms sometimes observed in liberated souls. Although the use of thoughts and argument is most suitable process for inducing an uninitiated person to become a devotee. Neophyte in devotional service must always alertly understand Krishna through the vision of the revealed scriptures, the bona fide devotees, and the spiritual master. Unless one hears about Sri Krishna from such authorities, one cannot make advancement in devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. The revealed scriptures mention 9 means of attaining devotional service, of which the first and foremost is hearing from the authority. Shravanam, who will you hear from? Most of us think that when I chant Hare Krishna, I will all automatically hear. But who the hell cares of your hearing and your chanting, which is on the neophyte stage? Don't think that you have heard. No. Hear from the spiritual master how he chants, what does he say about chanting. Keep in mind. And once you receive such hearing, and that's why during the initiation, you are supposed to hear the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And to empower you, the spiritual master chants one round on your bead before giving you the name and hand over the beads. So one must hear from the spiritual master how he has invested his desire to become you to become a pure devotee, how he is keeping faith in you that you will listen to his instructions and make progress. You have to think about it. Then you can't think of your spiritual master alone, but you have to think what my spiritual master is thinking about me too, what he is expecting from me. So in this way, you will become concentrated in fulfilling the desire of Krishna. Otherwise, even though Krishna has explicitly written his desires in Bhagavad Gita, in instructions to Arjun, if we do not take the heed of that, we do not know what Krishna's desire is then. But if you know what Krishna's desires are there because they are explicitly written and you have taken to your heart, then you will be able to, think of Krishna always. Oh, Krishna told me to remember him. Okay, that's why this is mechanical. But you have to go. I'm thinking of Krishna, but Krishna is also thinking about me. What does he think? That is the internal, understanding. Krishna is thinking that, why am I not surrendering fully? Krishna is thinking, why am I not putting my mind into him always? Why am I not chanting his glories always? Satatam kirtayanto mam. Krishna is thinking about me. And that will make a difference, definitely. So, manmana bhav madbhatko madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashisi satyam te pratijani priyosi me. And that is not a business for half an hour or 1 hour. That's the business of 24 hours a day. If you think about Krishna, do you think it is reciprocal thinking? No. You should always be aware what Lord Shri Krishna is thinking about me. And we need to put up our head straight into it. Sometimes we say, oh, Krishna observes me. He observes you with pathetics, mood, that you are not showing so much enthusiasm to live this life, whatever the reminder of life, alone for himself. So this is the furtherance of the understanding about pure devotional service as defined by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami's definition of pure devotional service speaks solely of the constitutional nature, that is Swarupa of the living entity, as an eternal servant of Krishna. It does not cater to the designations the soul acquires in contact with the material modes of nature through the gross and subtle bodies. The first two lines of this verse describe the marginal characteristics, that is a tatastha lakshana of pure devotion. And the second two principles, characteristics are called swarupa lakshana. Wow. This is also very important. That is anyabhilashita shunyam gyan karmadhanavrutam are tatastha lakshan. But then anukulyena krishnanushilanam shilanam bhaktiruttama. This verse is going to tell as the Swarupa Lakshan. Swarupa. Can you understand this? Generally, out of 26 qualities, we were only telling that surrender to Krishna is the only Swarupa Lakshan, and other Tatastha Lakshan can be developed even by Mayavadi sannyasis. So, unless and until one is reaching to his Swarupa Lakshan and employing in his practices of devotional service, he cannot be claiming, oh, he's a pure devotee. No. Primary characteristics of pure devotion. In the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada describes the primary characteristics of pure devotion. First-class devotional service is known by one's tendency to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord favorably. See, anukulyena. This is in Nectar of Devotion, introduction, page 21. Thus, the three primary characteristics of pure devotion are: it is full engagement, Krishnanushilanam. It is performed with intent favorable to Krishna, anukulyena. And it has Krishna as its sole beneficiary. Three characteristics. You have to say that whatever you do for Krishna reaches to Krishna or not. Krishna becomes the sole beneficiary. How wouldn't you know that your efforts do not go in vain? Always involve your spiritual master in your service and pure devotion to Krishna. The full engagement in devotional service has many aspects, whether performed at the stage of practice of perfection. All aspects culminate in activities authorized by the disciplic succession. Srila Prabhupada often uses the word cultivation to indicate activities in full engagement that reawaken or are characteristics of the dormant spirit of loving service. You know what is cultivate? Cultivation means in agriculture, you sow the seed, you water the seed, you protect the seed by taking out the weeds, you supply even manure that is required or enthusiasm and expertise of others so they can have healthy growth. Cultivation involved. And then when it matures, you have to take the product and offer it to Krishna. If we examine how much effort are we doing in order to act perfectly according to this cultivation in our life, do we cultivate at all? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada put up an agrarian community is the foundation of Krishna consciousness, where you will be engaged. However, you may be MA, PhD, but start tilling and cultivate the field. It will cultivate your heart also through Krishna consciousness. The seed has to grow. Seed has to mature. Seed has to be taken and offered to Lord Krishna in the form of multifarious varieties of dishes you can make. Isn't it? Don't take it for granted, but try to do this cultivation of the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Isn't it mind-boggling? We need to understand deeper. Prabhupada put each and everything in perfect context. We have to develop. People are adopting, okay, fine, we will do open up Gaushala and everything. But how about the cultivation? We have to cultivate the culture of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada uses the word very precisely. Jiva Goswami, in his commentary on this verse, divides the cultivation of devotion into two aspects: the activity itself, chesta, and the underlying mood of devotion, bhava. Both are connected. However, the activities of devotion may be said to include the mood of devotion. In the final analysis, since the verb predicates action, a study of the activities of devotion explained fully in the words of cultivation, as Srila Prabhupada writes, without activity, consciousness alone cannot help us. See, this is in Nectar of Devotion, introduction, page number 21. Without activity, Krishna consciousness alone cannot help us. There are two sides of cultivation of activities of devotion: accepting activities that are favorable, pravritti, and rejecting activities that are unfavorable, nivritti. As already mentioned, these are the first 6 stages of surrender in pure faith. A devotee performs the pravrutti and nivrutti with the body, words, and mind. Such cultivation is said to be to increase in difficulty as it progressively increases subtlety from the body to mental activities. Examples of activities favorable to devotion are the first 10 of 64 items of sadhana bhakti, delineated in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, beginning with talking or taking shelter of bona fide spiritual master. This Nectar of Devotion, page number 53. Chapter 6, page number examples of activities to avoid are the second 10, those 64 limbs, beginning with rigid giving up the company of non-devotees and including avoiding offenses in service, seva aparad, to the holy name, nam aparad, and to the holy place, dham aparad. The prefix anu in the word anushilanam means following. Cultivation of devotional service must follow the guidance of spiritual masters connected to Krishna through the chain of disciplic succession. Such connection ensures that activities in devotion are performed according to Krishna's instructions and liking. Connecting with Krishna not only authorizes activities in devotion, but also spiritualizes them. Let me comment on this. There are certain devotees who are not taking spiritual master's instruction to expand Krishna conscious activity. They think that they are doing Krishna conscious activities. But if it is not favorable to one's own spiritual master or to Krishna at certain extent, how would you constitute that as pure devotional service? Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. If it is not anukul to your spiritual master also. Huh? They are obstinate devotees. They want to do something even though at the extent of displeasure of their spiritual master. We should engage in our hard-earned money to cultivate our own devotional service by engaging the prescribed activities for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Otherwise, you are allured with something which is not sanctioned, but at the same time, you become enamored for name and fame, and you also become bankrupt and put everybody, your dependence into jeopardy. That is not Anushilanam, Krishna Anushilanam, or Bhaktya Anushilanam, or Guru Anushilanam. People are, thinking like Sheikh Challi. Sheikh Challi, is a mental speculator. Mental speculator. Now, how come they do not understand that they are far away from pure devotional service, even in the name of helping ISKCON or doing something, but it is according to him and not according to the spiritual master or his senior god brothers? Think of it. Krishna Anushilanam should be Anushilanam, but Anukullena, Shilanam is there, but Anushilanam is required. Mam Anushilanam. No, not Mam. Krishna, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. You have to repeatedly remembering my instruction and then fight. It's not that, oh, you read Bhagavad Gita and that's about it. You do not have to read again. But then how can you develop your insights and realizations without, the process and perfection that has been given? Oh, I remember Krishna. No, you have to act. Shilanam, Anushilanam, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha, Anusmara Anushilanam. One has to remember, one has to act. Remembering Krishna. Therefore, the word Yudhyacha, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Arjun, you have to serve me by fighting. Don't become a coward and go away and think otherwise to develop interest in cinema. Even though it is Krishna's subject. No. So, the prefix anu in the word Anushilanam means following. The cultivation of devotional service must follow the guidance of spiritual master and connected to Krishna through the chain of disciplic succession. Such connection ensures that activities in devotion are performed according to Krishna's instructions and likings. Connecting with Krishna not only authorizes activity in devotion, but also spiritualizes them. Devotional service is an aspect of Krishna's internal potency, Swarupa Shakti. When a devotee performs activities following Krishna's desire, the Swarupa Shakti becomes coming from Krishna through the spiritual master, spiritualizes those activities. Srila Prabhupada writes that the energy by which devotional service is performed can be spiritualized by the mercy of both the bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. This is also said in Nectar of Devotion, introduction, page 22. To untrained eyes, the activities of pure devotion may appear mundane. For instance, a materialist may exhibit affection for his child in so many ways, and a devotee may exhibit affection for the Lord deity's form. Despite appearances, the devotee's activities is under the direction of internal potency and is therefore supramundane, that is aprakruta. The following discussion describes the second and primary characteristics of pure devotion, that is performed with intent favorable to Krishna. The qualifying adverb anukulyena is precise and means with favorable intent. When Krishna is added as the prefix, it means that the cultivation of devotional service must be done in the mood favorable to Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has carefully responded to scholars who considered that definition of pure devotion would also be complete if anukulyena were to mean simply pleasing Krishna. The Thakur has shown this to be incorrect. Any meaning other than one intended by the author imposes a definition on pure devotion, either too broad or too narrow. How could pleasing be a definition too broad or too narrow for the word anukulyena? If anukulyena were to mean the cultivation of activities that are simply pleasing to Krishna, then some non-devotional activities could be included in the concept of pure devotion, and some devotional activities would not. An example for the interpretation that would be too open concerned the gigantic wrestler Chanur. He was beating Krishna's butter soft body with his fist in the presence of Mathura's resident. And Krishna was feeling pleasure by testing the mellows of heroism, Veera Rasa. Scriptures confirm that Kshatriyas enjoy a good fight, even when they experience bodily pain. Himalayam Nyastadanda Praharsham Manasvinam Eva Sats Samprahara. The Himalayan mountain are the delights of those who have accepted the staff of the renounced order, like fighters who have accepted a good lashing from the enemy. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 9th chapter, 6th verse. Wow. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 13th chapter, 30th verse. That means when Pandavas retired timely, they have been, comparing that. The scriptures confirm that Kshatriyas enjoy a good fight even when they experience bodily pain. Himalayam Nyastadanda Praharsham Manasvinam Eva Sat Sampraharaha. The Himalayan mountains are the delight of those who have accepted the staff of renounced order, like fighters who have accepted a good lashing from the enemy. When the Pandavas retired time, they held the sannyasta danda in their hand. You see the photograph. How they got the lashes from the enemy? They were the victors, but still, what the hell victory has to do? They are retiring timely, means renounce everything. That is Nestadanda. Nestadanda Praharam. Nestadanda Praharam. Manasvinam eva sat sampraharaha. This beautiful expression is there. Thus, if we were to accept meaning of anukulyana as pleasing, then the definition of pure devotion would be too open. It could include the mood and behavior of an antagonistic demon, the mood never accepted as devotional service. Chanur surely did not intend to please Krishna. But Krishna took as pleasure. An example of an interpretation that would be too narrow concerned Mother Yashoda. She once stopped breastfeeding Krishna in order to attend to milk boiling over the stove. Krishna, being displeased with his mother, bit his lips, trembled, and began to cry. The Bhagavatam affirms, being very angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth, Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. Then he entered the room and began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. That is given in 10th canto, 9th chapter, 6th verse. Again, if we were to accept the meaning of anukulyena as pleasing, then the definition of pure devotion would be too narrow. Krishna's feigned displeasure would exclude Mother Yashoda's pure loving service to Krishna. Her only intention was to please him. In other words, it is not correct to describe anukulyena as simply pleasing to Krishna. The word must mean with intent to please Krishna. As clear as this logic is, a die-hard critic may still argue accepting the anukulyena means which favorable attitude, which is the same as saying in the absence of unfavorable attitude. What need is there to be further qualify bhakti with the word anushilanam? Why not just say Krishna anukulyena bhaktiruttama? A pure devotion exists where there is an absence of unfavorable attitude towards Krishna. Is that what it means? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur answers that meaning of pure devotion is not established by a mere absence of an inimical attitude. A clay pot has no animosity towards Krishna, but because it has neither a service mood nor active service, one can hardly say it has pure devotion. That is number 18. See in Bhakti Rasa Sindhu Bindu, page number 13. Can we understand this esoteric meanings of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and how Shivram Maharaj is putting into the context? One last point on Anukulyena. Srila Prabhupada has and his predecessors conquered that because Krishna's devotees and paraphernalia are integral to Krishna's service. Service with the intent to please them also constitute pure devotion. It's in Nectar of Devotion, introduction, page number 23. Thus, Rupa Goswami used the word anukulyena in conjunction with Krishnanushilanam must be accepted as perfect because of its ability to stand firm against all challenging arguments. There is no need to modify or qualify that usage. So, you all have nice intelligence. Can we deliberate on this more? Because just like Shivaram Maharaj told before also, that he is trying to condense everything, not expanding and expanding, but even those little expansion of understanding through Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's for Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam, I would have to admit that I have to hold my faith so strong then and try to understand the esoteric meanings that justifies the word of Rupa Goswami, Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. It's nothing to replace it. Krishna Anukulyena Bhakti Ruttama. Krishna Anukulyena. Why should we use? I would like to look into this particular understanding, which is the proper understanding of our Mahavakya, Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So, how do we remain alert to defend Rupa Goswami's words? So, thinking in terms of interpretation by our own self, by saying that, oh, I'm doing things which are very favorable to Krishna. Is it so? I want to put my money in Krishna's service, but I will not do according to the desire of my spiritual master. Or how would I know that my predecessor spiritual master are aligned with me, if not my spiritual master, or vice versa? No. These are great acharyas that we have been inheriting in our disciplic succession to guide us properly. We have to understand them. Even if we don't have brain and admit that, oh, it is too difficult for me to decipher this arrangement of the words in arguments, there is no word jugglery. But if I blindly even accept that, yes, that's how Rupa Goswami also defended us, that Krishna is the Supreme, not Vishnu. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also inheriting the same thing from Brijvasi Rupa Goswami. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was also one of the stalwart acharya in his time that he cannot be neglected. He is a Brijvasi too. Brijvasi breeds Brijvasi. Our breeding process is spiritual. So we need to be born in Brijvasi spirit and accept our parent understanding and disciplic succession. We will discuss this more tomorrow. We don't need to rush, but this is an important lesson in developing or broadening our consciousness towards Vishuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. What do you think? Now let's discuss for a few minutes.
Okay, there's a couple of comments from Asita Rajaprabhu
Yes.
about the lazy persons who don't hear from the bona fide sources, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. His first comment is they become sahajiyas. And his second comment, if we don't do the Shastric courses like Bhakti Shastri, then we should be considered lazy.
Yeah, Now you know why do we have to study Bhakti Shastras, Bhakti Shastri exam. So those who have not done, start doing online. Prabhus, don't waste my time. You have to go online. So, time and rhyme. Time rhymes with line. Hare Krishna. Study, study, study. Introspective. Don't say I am done. Okay, I have done Bhakti Shastri. That's enough. Oh, forget it, man. Employ it in your life. Remain busy. Okay? Don't collect the degrees. So use on yourself to mold and to cultivate the culture of Krishna consciousness. Good point, Asitaradhya. You can handle everyone better after me.
Sanchari has a question.
What is Sanchari telling?
Think that you said, you made a statement, what you should do to reach Krishna. I understand we should never surpass the Guru. What else do you want in order to reach Krishna?
But you have to give up lethargy to enter into Anukulyana Krishnanushilanam Bhaktiruttama.
Akhanda Day has his hand up.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, we accept my humble obeisances.
Right.
Guru Maharaj, earlier in the readings, it said that one has to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness and serving favorably. So, like we, as the instructions of your Guru Maharaj, we chant, we do deity worship, but how we can judge that we are fully engaged or not in Krishna's service?
Yes, because it is part of your sadhana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam. That is for the deity worship. But then what? The other three are still remaining, and they will be on the level of Shuddha Bhakti.
Yeah.
Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Dasyam means you are reaching to your constitutional position, Jivira Swarup, or Krishna Nityadas, Krishna Tatashta Shakti, Veda. So utilize your whatever Krishna given Shakti in serving favorably, Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam. It's easy to go for first six. First one, that is for neophytes, first initiated. Second one is for Brahminical, and they should engage them. So you are in a Brahminical stage. But then, Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Dasyam means this is you are reaching to your constitutional position. Nityar Das. Nityar Krishna Das. Unless and until we do servitorship, the other moods will never come. The one which is not invoked of serving Lord Shri Krishna totally according to his desire through the spiritual master, that is Archa. Archa, and you have been worshipping Archa. And that is for awe and reverence. Awe and reverence. But the last three is dasyam, sakyam, atmanivedanam. These are the reciprocatory services from Krishna. And that will be on spontaneous level. Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani is attributed to Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, and we must strive to enter into that. So,
Yes, Guru.
what is after second initiation? Get your kids grow faster and make them perfect so they can take care of their life.
Yes, Guru.
It's never too late, but you will be hankering more and more and more.
Aparajita has it.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Haribol,
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Prabhupada.
Guru Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru Maharaj, I wanted to ask you, you once said that, to serve the mood of the spiritual master, mood and mission, we should serve in a way, even to Srila Prabhupada, we should serve in a way that it pleases them and not what we think that it pleases them and we think what pleases us. So many times devotees try to they try to see and they try to make ways thinking that what pleases the Guru and Srila Prabhupada instead of understanding the mood and the mission. So where is the missing link then, Guru Maharaj? Like, what is the missing link? Why do they fail in understanding the mood and mission?
You should concentrate on Prabhupada's desires, which are not fulfilled yet. That is my the target in the eyes all the time. If I finish this project, it will be on a better foothold to preach to the local Thais. And everybody understands that. Because I
Yes,
think
sir.
it generated from pure desire of Srila Prabhupada, and now it is being reflected and people are coming forward. And I'm seeing the miracle, otherwise it has been standstill since 90s. And if we can serve Srila Prabhupada to make a breakthrough, the stagnancy, then I pray that Srila Prabhupada will be pleased. If Prabhupada is pleased, Krishna is pleased.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. So it should our desires also should be in alignment with.
Naturally, yes,
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
we have to manage,
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
follow instructions, okay, of the spiritual
Yes,
master, and you will be well off.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Vijayalalasa.
Jai Vidyalalasa.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gurudev, you mentioned
You
about
in a couple of days. You were not speaking. Okay.
I beg your pardon, Guru Maharaj, I didn't hear you.
I said we were missing you since couple of days. Okay.
Thank you. Gurudev, I was asking about you mentioned about cultivating the field, the need for it. And in our reading, I understood that we should pay attention to two main ways are anukulasya sankalpa and pratikulasya varjanam. We should be respectful, mindful of these activities. Can you elaborate a bit more on how we should properly cultivate our heart so that the bhakti lata flourishes?
Okay. You have to ask humbly, how can I serve you, my spiritual master? What is your desire? And spiritual master will concentrate on Krishna's desire. Okay. The Parampara's desire. We have to fulfill Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. What is his desire? Prithvi te ache jata sarvatra nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar behoi bemoranam. These are the desires. Engage in whatever little capacity, but it will be qualitatively pure desires. So we cannot develop off-track situations. We should develop all the activities in order to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's desires. And they are explicitly expressed. Krishna has also explicitly expressed his desires. Whatever is feasible, just pick up and confirm it, and then you can do. Can you start teaching the courses like IDC and Bhakti Shastri?
You're asking me, Gurudev?
Yes.
IDC, I heard from you when you came to Mauritius. So I can teach IDC with your blessings, of course. But Bhakti Shastri, even though I study on my own at home, but I haven't given the exam, nor have I completed the course, Gurudev. So
you can connect yourself, never mind, but remain,
yes,
study with the help of senior devotees is always useful. On our own, we have a limited brain. We may not be able to accept everything, but the brain is developed through a cumulative cultivation. Cumulative means aggregated cultivation.
yes.
And yes, we have
Yes,
to.
it's
favorable.
when I
Yeah.
sorry, Gurudev.
Yeah.
I meant to say that I do not study on my own. I join sanghas of devotees online who
That's
teach, like there's ISKCON Mangalore who teaches
That's
Bhakti
good.
Shastri.
That's
So
good.
I often watch their YouTube videos and try to
Why not?
read along.
Some of my disciples are also there who are teaching Bhakti Shastri.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Maybe Sanchari knows better. She is also.
I will take this desire to heart, Gurudev. I will complete my Bhakti Shastri as soon as my health gets a bit better.
Yeah.
And I will teach
Krishna
Gurudev.
will help you to get better also because you want to serve him.
Thank you, Gurudev. This is all I want. Your blessings. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to
Srila
Maharaj.
Prabhupada.
From today's class, the point that I took was that every bit that is given, whether it is in the verse or in the explanation, is equally important. We cannot miss out any aspect of it. So in that same way, when we receive an instruction, all the bits that are there together needs to be taken and completed so that we can actually try to serve Krishna and the Guru in that way.
Definitely. Definitely.
Maharaj very nicely explained how each, like, without missing out on one or the other cannot actually result in the actual service in the highest aspect of pure bhakti, because if even if one is missed
It's
out,
not
it doesn't.
one-sided. It is a reciprocal thing.
Hmm.
So we must know what Krishna is thinking. And we do not have to contemplate something else. Krishna has already explicitly expressed himself, what he likes and what he doesn't like. Bhagavad Gita. So the study is essential in order to imbibe in our hearts the desires of Lord Krishna. We must do favorably, execute to please him. That is bhakti. Many a times, seeing we are limited, oh, I tried very hard. Oh, I'm trying very hard. So that's it. No. If you are trying very hard, Krishna will reciprocate. He is reciprocating already, and we do not realize. So, ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. Who is following knowingly and who is following Krishna's instruction unknowingly? There are so many things that comes in our head and goes through out, and we do not retain it, but those things are going in. Moreover, we try to use our material intelligence to decipher it. Oh, I can accept. Oh, okay, I'm limited. Oh, this. So these are conditioned, levied upon us, but we have to come out. So a proper age is given where you will be given the rest to your bodily activities and enter into pure devotional service without, and you'll be suggested that give up lethargy, be enthusiastic, and engage in rendition of pure devotion. It is applying to everybody, both men and women.
Thank you, Maharaj. And certainly your enthusiasm in trying to spread Srila Prabhupada's movement gives us a lot more inspiration to do more, because certainly we need, like, when we look at what we have done in comparison to yours, we haven't done anything at all. So it certainly inspires us to do more. Thank you, Maharaj.
Question from Taravali.
Oh, Taravali Mata, bolo.
Says there are so many types of outreach, so many different things different devotees do. How do we know which particular type of service and outreach we should put our energy into?
Some things which are not favorable to us, but yet it is favorable to Krishna, then we must wait to get the opportunity which will be making us feasible to enter into that. That's reasonable. We cannot go out of our way to extend those favorable services. Therefore, in examples where the householders having their young children to grow and nurture them, at least the mother has the most important service to raise them in Krishna consciousness. That is anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. That is sanctioned by Srila Prabhupada. For men, he has to maintain the spiritual status as well as work for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna and manage his household. Is it okay?
Yes,
Okay.
Maharaj. Sorry, I was just on mute because I have my small assistants here.
Okay.
Yes, that clarifies. So basically, it's okay for us to put all of our energies into raising our children also because that counts as devotional service. Not that we have to also be doing.
Meanwhile, in performance of your present service in Krishna consciousness, you might in future think that if I get this opportunity, I think I can render service to Lord Krishna better. But I have to wait till that time, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
Anybody else? Haribol.
Guru Maharaj,
Yeah.
for some small things we feel sometimes there's a little confusion and it's too small to consult you. At that time, what should be our thought process?
Use your brain if you don't want to consult me. Use your Prabhu's brain if you don't have brain.
Yeah, there's a quote from Prabhupada like that. Somebody wrote to him about Tulsi Maharaj, and he says, use your common sense. If you don't have anyone, ask someone who does.
Yeah.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. I think it will be better if I ask you. Thank you.
And in that condition, anukulyena pati anusulanam bhakti ruttama. Okay?
Yes, Guru. Yes, Guru. Thank you,
That's
Guru.
why he has been in your life.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Ananda Roy Prabhu is asking on the chat. Krishna consciousness is Buddhi Yoga. But in busy family life, is there any formula to organize well in Krishna consciousness?
What was the question?
He was talking about busy family life. Krishna consciousness is Buddhi Yoga.
Yes, but in busy family life, there any formula organized well in Krishna consciousness? No, Buddhi Yoga means, yeah, You have to have discriminate. This is not material buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means discriminating what is sat and what is asat. On that basis, buddhi yoga. Sthita prajnasya kya bhasha. Sthita prajna means who is established in a very steady, discriminative intelligence of spiritual emancipation. That is vyavasayatmika buddhi eke kurunandana. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate asat upayorapi drashtvanta tattvadarshibhi. These are the two words to define buddhi yoga, which is equivalent to bhakti yoga. Other is only information yoga, not bhakti yoga, buddhi yoga. Info yoga.
Thank you, Ramananda.
Haribol. Prabhus. Slow but steady wins the race. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Thank you,
jai.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Janeshwar, bolo, kya baat hai?
He's got.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Jai.
I was just typing the message that, to the take-home message from today is, we have to learn the, art of serving the spiritual master from not from the superficial or mental level. We should go deep from from the heart level. So then only we can deepen our mood of service. So this is what I take home from today's class. And also, I keep meditating on. You said we have to look at the spiritual master's desire. So, if we are not able to align our desires, we have a lot of desires. So, a lot of some tick box desires of chanting and doing some services. Apart from that, if we develop the spiritual desire to align to our spiritual guru's desire, I think I take it as then our life will be perfect. Otherwise, we'll remain on outskirts only. So this is what I'm thinking, Gurmaj. So thank you so much for today's class.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.